During her cosplay of Bella from Twilight, TRISHA states that the reason that she doesn't like Edward Cullen is because he's manipulative. She says that it's wrong to threaten to unalive yourself just because someone breaks up with you or won't get back with you, stating that it's a little too much for her and she finds it to be wrong.
That's like manipulative. That's like gaslighting, to be like, I don't love you anymore, and then to like come back into her life and then like also like really just try to like threaten to unalive or try to unalive yourself to like because you're so upset over something. Like, it's just a little much for me.
However, TRISHA in real life has threatened to unalive herself with boyfriends that she's had in the past if they would not get back together with her, or if they broke up with her. She admits to doing this to boyfriends Sean, Jason, and Moses.
Suicidal threats or behavior or self-injury, often a response of fear of separation or rejection.
Yes. I've definitely seen that.
Oh my God, I remember. I don't even want to go in the beginning of our relationship. That was so crazy and scary. And I think the alarms went off. I don't know. There were so many weird things. Okay. Skipping over that, but yes. Oh, well, I guess we should say how you deal with it. How did you deal with it?
Well,
It didn't really work.
No, because
you
I mean, I knew the threat wasn't real, so I just didn't feed into it, you know. Because if I would budge, he would gain, you know, power and movement from it, and I just didn't acknowledge it, so it had to go away.
But it didn't go away because it came over to your house.
No, I'm saying the threat of killing yourself.
Yeah, true.
Let's say I called the bluff.
Maybe that's not always the best advice, though, if someone is suicidal.
No, this is a different situation, though. This is threats.
When you know.
Of, not...
But I actually did try and kill myself 3 times. That's why I ended up in a mental institution. I mean, I don't think it was me, but they definitely declared it enough to 5150 me, and I didn't even have a choice. And I even said, like, I don't want to kill myself, and they're like, nope, you still got to go. Because they deemed it as trying to kill myself. So, maybe not always a threat.
As you can hear in the Moses audio, he states that TRISHA used this threat on him before and he ignored it. She then seems to be upset by that and counters it by saying maybe it's not always just a threat and that you should essentially give in to what the threat is demanding just to be safe. This is her way to manipulate and control him still, even past the moment of the threat, by stating that it could still be real and he should not ignore her next time. She also admitted to threatening to unalive herself with Jason Nash, stating that she did it multiple times because it worked multiple times, and that he would stay with her out of fear that she would harm herself, which is exactly what she wanted.
This is another really embarrassing example. And thank God I don't have a lot of current examples in this current relationship. My last relationship, I mean, I also threatened not only to kill myself, but like I attempted to try like to do some harmful behaviors in front of him. There was something I did very wrong in this situation. I was going to the extreme to show that I was going to be a danger to myself, right? Because it worked before. We had broken up in February. We had hooked up and seen each other throughout. And every time we'd hook up or see each other, I would start crying and I would say, like, I have nobody in my life. And then when he would call my mom and sister, I'd tell my mom and sister, don't respond. They didn't know what was going on. So they were like, okay. And I ran out his street naked. I tried to run in front of cars, like just because you know what? It would work. And he would stay with me. I remember Easter Sunday after we broke up, he came back, stayed with me at my place, like cuddled me. And I was like, this is all I ever wanted. So I just kept being more and more extreme. Ironic, because when I'm manipulating people and I want people to feel sorry and I say I'm going to kill myself, like I want them to feel bad.
TRISHA also admits to doing this to her boyfriend Sean, stating that she had no intention of harming herself but would threaten it in order to control him into doing what she wanted and staying with her. She did this to him multiple times throughout their relationship.
In every single relationship, I've had to guilt the person into staying in with me, which is why I was so insecure in relationships. Every relationship, even at the beginning, right? Like I had to guilt them into being with me. And that's sad. That's also a very vulnerable thing that I have to admit to myself and I guess to the world. And it wasn't until I didn't have to guilt someone to come back that I realized, okay, this person's coming back for me. And that was good, right? That was a good thing. But I had a relationship with Sean, who I guilted again. My guilting was threatening to kill myself. At the times that I threatened it, I wasn't suicidal. Sean, I remember he was moving me into that apartment from that big house to the apartment, and he was going to go home and sleep. He wanted to sleep on his bed, and I just said that I was gonna kill myself, and he came over, and it worked. And I did that not once but twice. And the third time was the final time he stopped talking to me. Well, the big breakup we had in December, and then he ended up just blocking me. I said I was gonna, again, I won't go into detail, but unalive myself, I guess.
This is something that TRISHA has done to multiple men throughout the years. She portrays this in a way where she's a victim and states that she can't believe she did it to these men, but she's done it to every single one over and over. This was intentional manipulation, and it seems that every single guy before Moses had to block her for their own sanity. And because they left, she has painted them as villains ever since, telling the world that they all abandoned her and were horrible people who did the worst things on earth to her. Yet, here she is admitting to manipulating them in one of the worst ways possible. This is the true reason why they left. This is an abusive behavioral pattern. And it is not okay.